Hey, wondrous being, welcome to episode 49. 49. So today's episode is titled Call Me Peach. So I'm going to tell you a little story about the day I was told to color myself peach. But before I do, as always, Sunny Bonani Dumalang, goeie afternoon, bon dia. So yes, this is a story that I guess I was inspired to share after seeing a piece of art displayed today. And it made me think about what inspired me to start creating the pieces that I create. So I have a range of pieces of art that I've called the MonStar range. And essentially it's creating these unique, animated, colorful and vibrant and childlike characters that I've called and titled MonStars. And I've also recently launched a coloring and doodling journal as well. But I'll share that in another episode and in another time. But for the purposes of today, I'm going to share the story. So I never forget this. It happened so many years ago, and it's just one of those memories that have remained so vividly clear and almost been carved out in my mind. So when I was in grade 1, so that was the very first year that I went to school. When I was going to school, there weren't things like 00, 000, preschool, kindergarten. Like, yeah, you could send your kid there, but it wasn't like something that was mandatory that you needed to do in order for your kid to get into like a primary school. So preschool was an optional extra and not a mandatory extra. So I was fortunate enough to stay home with my mom prior to that. So yes, a grade 1 was my first year of school ever. And I remember on this particular day that the teacher gave us an instruction to draw ourselves doing something. I really can't recall the exact brief, but it was around the aspect and element of capturing ourselves doing something. And I remember that I drew myself doing something. I can't even remember really what the picture was about, to be honest with you. And there I was, coloring myself in, coloring my surroundings. And I remember the teacher coming up to me and looking at my picture very attentively and turning to me and telling me in a way that was quite firm. And it almost felt like I was being scolded, okay, for my picture and the way I had colored in my picture. So she commenced to tell me, and she first asked me, who's this person in the picture over here? And I'm like, oh, that's me. Thinking, oh my God, she's so happy with my picture. She's so happy with the picture that I've drawn, And she very quickly and abruptly informed me that I had made a huge mistake and that could not possibly be me because I was colored in the wrong color. So precursor, I am a South African first generation girl. And when I was in grade 1 and going to school, there were no other children of color allowed to go to school. So it was still pretty much, I definitely wouldn't say in the depths of apartheid because I didn't even know what was going on in my naive and innocent state. But I definitely remember there were no children of color. And so caveat, we need context in order to frame the content, right? So yes, she proceeded to tell me that this person that I have colored in my own picture, in my own artwork, in my own art piece, was the incorrect color. And I looked at her very confused because I was like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about because I think I nailed that color pretty spot on. Okay. Because that's just what my color looks like, you know? So I had used like a brown, you know, like a light brown. So guys, I've got Mediterranean skin. Thank the gods I stood in that line. I stood in line to go get Mediterranean skin when God was handing out the gifts, you know? And I'm very blessed and fortunate that I don't really burn. My skin goes this lovely olive brown color. So yes, I'm just one of those fortunate, blessed humans. Okay, I believe. So that's the color that I saw myself. I saw myself as this light brown human. You know, I mean, I look color brown. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I was so confused when she told me that I had painted myself the wrong color. I was like, girl, I really don't understand what you're talking about because, like, are you blind? And then she proceeded to tell me, no brown for you, white girl. You need to use the color peach. Peach. Because, you know, white people are peach. The fuck? I looked at her very confused and very disorientated and somewhat perplexed because I was like, girl, I don't know what you're smoking, but I sure as hell don't look peach. Needless to say, I was told to start another picture and color myself in peach. Call me Peach. I even have spit on my upper lip as I tell this story because it's like clearly just what the fuck. So yes, I will never forget that ever for the rest of my life. And then many years passed after that, and then I was made aware to the fact that there was segregation and white people went this side and, you know, other people of other colors went the other side. If there's people from America that are seeing this, they're probably going to think, oh my God, this girl's so racist. You know, guys, as Trevor Noah's already explicitly said, when there is a mixed race baby that's created and molded and born, they're known as a colored child. So you can call a colored person a colored in this country, they freaking love it. It's like a little step, you know? No, I'm not being racist. I'm just being factual. So yes, so there was me with my picture calling myself Peach. I never forget that I felt so confused and so like disheartened because what I had drawn as a visual representation of myself was told to be so like inaccurate. And I was like, but this is how I see myself. And you're telling me that the way I see myself is wrong. Just take a moment to contemplate on the power and effect that that has on your psyche, shall we? So here I am. Once I was 6 calling myself Peach, and now I'm 46 years young, and I am creating the most beautiful, colorful, whimsical, childlike inspired pieces of art that is essentially created to say, fuck you. You know, fuck you and the peach. Like we all come with these beautiful, unique expressions of ourselves. Forget the fact that she was being very racially, I don't know what you would even want to call that, okay? The fact that you're like telling someone that their art is wrong because of the colors that they're using, for me is just like so ludicrous and so like absolute fucking insanity. Like just whack as crack, really, like for me at least. So, but I'm so grateful that it happened and it was destined to happen, you know.